Hello everyone and welcome on this video about Equine. Equine is a horse racing game on the Cardano blockchain which is currently under development. They recently released an update to the app and I would like to walk you through it. Let's get started. First of all, you need to go to the Equine website, which address is visible here, website.equine.gg. And then it's very straightforward, you just click here on Enter App. At this stage, you will be prompted to log in with your wallet. In my case, I'm using Eternal. You can see on the bottom right, it's fetching the wallet, so it's just loading, and you do not see it on my screen, but it's popping out. I'm using a ledger, and I'm gonna sign a transaction. I am now on my ledger, clicking those buttons, and we should be good to go. Yes, we have a successful message popping up, and here we are. So the first time you log in, you get directly on your stable view. So the stables are basically your inventory. That's where you can see your horses, your jockeys and your skins. But before getting there, I want to show you the account part, the user account, where you can set up some parameters. If you go to the top right to this little icon, here you are on your account page. You can do a few things. You can pick a name. Okay, pretty straightforward. You can select a profile picture. So it's not a lot of them available, but the team has plans to extend this, in particular to other NFT projects. So down the line, we should be able to pick the profile picture that matches our NFTs. So I'm good with the Valentine Queen. And then the last thing you can check is switching between light and dark mode. I really like the dark mode, so I will stay with that. And then if you wish to, you can log out, but it's not necessary. By the way, once you log in for the first time, you get a cookie in your browser. This cookie is active for 1 week. So you don't need to always do the manipulation on your wallet to log into the app. If you just come back later, within 1 week, you'll be straight logged into the app. Okay, now that this is done, let's move to the stables. Stables are actually the inventory of the game. That's where you can see all your NFTs. The first time this 3D view loads, it can take maybe 20 seconds or so. It depends on your computer's performance. However, the next times will be much faster. If we go on the top left, we can see the stables are divided between race stables and breeding stables. If I click on breeding, I see there's nothing there. The reason is that the breeding will be implemented in the next release. So for now, nothing to see here. If I go back to race stables, I can see on the left hand side the details of the stable, in particular how many horses, jockeys and skins do I own. Now, if we want to see them, we just need to click on those buttons, either horses or jockeys. The reason there is no skins button is because you need to equip the skin to those NFTs. Here we are in front of the first horse. We can see its statistics at the bottom left, all the details. So 142 total stats. It's a colt and the color is copper bay. I personally really like the atmosphere, the ambience of the stables. You have those brown, red, bit yellowish colors. It's very warm, it's very peaceful, I would say. And the quality of the horse is pretty good too. They are using the Babylon JS engine, which doesn't require a lot of resources, but can still produce something which is easy to the eye. So okay, we have our first horse, we can see it's moving around. Okay, all good. If I click and I hold, I can actually look around. So I can see the entrance there, I can see the other horse here, but this is just for fun. Here I have a big details button which I can click. You can see a lot of information about the horse, about its career performance, training, breeding, the pedigree even. Since racing and breeding are not out, these are just placeholders. However, it's very promising. It looks really good to be able to see in particular the lineage of the horse, see who the parents were they champions or not, and so on. if I go back to the left hand side, I actually have access to this information to some degree. If I click on race stats, I can see some information about the horse. So how many races did it perform today? It looks like there will be a limit of 5 races per day, which class it is, how many race points, prize money, and so on. On the Configurator tab, we can pair a horse with a jockey. We can also apply a skin to either of them. Let's click, and here we can see the dynamic duo. This jockey looks kind of funny, kind of like a crash dummy, and the reason is that this is the default jockey. In Equine, each jockey has a personality, and the idea is that you need to find the personality which is the most compatible with your horse in order to enhance its performance. So finding the right jockey is really important. It really gives an edge during racing. However, if you do not have a jockey, you can still participate. The game is giving you this one for free. To be clear, this is not an NFT you get in your wallet. It's an in-game character which will appear during the races, which will ride your horse. At the bottom, we can see 4 tabs, so let's go in order. The first one is jockey, so this is my current collection, and I can pick different protagonists to pair with my horse. Notice on the top you see 3 statistics: wisdom, courage, and determination, and some pictograms there. So this tells you which statistic your jockey is enhancing. So if I would pair Guerrero with the horse, well, my horse would have more courage. That's what it means. But maybe my horse already has a lot of courage and maybe doesn't need even more. So you see, this game of finding the right jockey, that's where it starts. Or maybe I can go with another one. Faye has a lot of determination, so maybe she would be better. Okay, you get the gist of it. I can apply some skins, so let's turn Faye into a loungewear person, if that's a word. Alright. And we can also modify the horse skins. I have only one, it's the alien one. Here it is. I think it's really cool. I really like it. I know some people are purists and they don't want to see skins, and that is fine. When watching races, the game will allow you to turn off all the skins. But for now, this will do. Okay, let's save this. If I go back to the configurator, we now see it's been updated with my setup. Okay, this was horse 1. We can now move to a different horse, and something you may want to look at is that this is horse 97, this is horse 145, and if I move on like this, you can see this number is going up. So the horses are ordered by ID. It can be a bit tedious to move around like that. I mean, it's great to see the horses and see all the information, but if you have a lot of them, you're just spending time navigating, and that might not be the most efficient way of looking at your horses. So I will click here, go back to stable view, and I have this toggle there, list view. Here we are on the list view, which is exactly the same information as the 3D view, just displayed differently. We can see the horses there, they're all nicely lined up, and if you have a big stable, it's way easier to find your horse just by scrolling. Actually, you can do it a different way. You can look at the filters on the left. So for instance, if I want to look at my wild bay, I can click that and here it is. And then if I want to see it in the 3D view and equip a specific jockey to it, I just click the horse in the list view and I switch automatically to the 3D one. And here I'm not touching anything, the camera goes in automatically and goes to my wild bay horse. You can see here wild bay. So here I would be able to configure anything. Let's go back to the list view. There are many different filters, age, total stats, and so on, but you get how it works. The thing I want to show here is this button, Hide Filter. When you do this, you see a bit more information about your horses. Actually, this matches what we see in the 3D view. Let me explain. In the 3D view, we had 3 tabs. We had the horse stats, the race stats, and the configurator. And that's what you see here. The race stats are there, the race stats are here, and well, the configurator is only available in the 3D view. If we look there, we see an activate button which seems to be grayed out. This is something specific to those pioneer horses. Pioneer horses were the ones which were minted in December 2021, and they are the first generation of equine horses. Every month they get 1 year older, their stats evolve, and eventually they even die. When you activate your horse, you are kickstarting this process. You do not need to activate your horse. If you don't want to play with it, you just want to keep it as a collectible, that's fine. Note that this is only possible for pioneer horses. The next generation will be automatically activated, something to bear in mind. On the list view, we can also look at jockeys. So let's switch over there, and it's very similar. You have filters on the left based on the jockey's personality, or you can simply scroll through. Let's take Yukio here. Yukio is a Japanese jockey. By the way, each jockey has their own theme song. So if you look at Pool PM, at your NFT, you can listen to the song, and the song will play while you are racing with that jockey. So I think it's pretty cool and it was worth mentioning. Coming back to the list view, we can see a few pieces of information there. We can see this Yukio has the personality determined, has a rarity of 12.4, and he's part of the Equine Pioneer Jockeys collection. At the bottom, we can see which stat it actually improves. So it improves determination a lot, but doesn't touch courage nor wisdom. 2 points to note here. The first one regarding the rarity, this number, it's a placeholder, it's not the real rarity. This will come later. Then, regarding the collection, I think it's very interesting that this is in there because it opens the door to new collections. And then it is the same thing as the other list. You can click your jockey and you see it in the stable. One last thing that might be interesting is that you see there are 6 personalities. What you may want to do is get one of each personality. You can try to find the one which matches your horses best. Finally, let's have a look at the social aspect of the app. If you click social on top, you'll get to your friends list. I have one friend so far, it's JPS. Here, I can talk to him if I want. Let's say, hi JPS, how is it going? And here it is. So you can talk with people like this, exchange some advice, maybe get together to watch some race or anything. What is also very good is that you can click the friend's name and you will get to see their stable. So again, it takes some time to reload the scene, but you're able to see all of their NFTs. So let's check out the horses. We can see JPS has 10 horses, 60 jockeys, so it looks like he owns all of them. And then it's exactly the same thing as in my stable. I can move around, look at the different statistics. However, the configurator is not active because, well, it's not my horse. I can also go to the list view if I want. I'm very curious about those 60 jockeys, it's pretty impressive. Well, you see he has some gold ones. Let's see how they look in the configurator. Yeah, very nice. This is very good because you can visit anyone's stable, not only your friends. If I go back to social, so I have my friends here, but I can also look at guilds there. And let's go to this legendary one. They have a lot of people, and here I can do the exact same thing. Let's check out Hungermox stable. I click the name, it loads, and looks like a modest stable with 1 horse, 1 jockey, 1 skin. So probably someone who minted the bundle and hold on to it until now. Nice. I can talk to them if I want to, or I can add them as a friend. Now let's move to the guild page. I'm gonna click here, all guilds. And I have the list of all guilds on the platform at this point in time. You can see a few things here: the name, the class, how many members, and the type of guild. Racing horses are divided in 5 classes depending on their racing points, performance, and this will be reflected at the guild level as well. Then you see how many members are currently in the guild. This one seems very popular with 18 people, and you see there's a maximum of 30. This is not set in stone. It is subject to change. For now, in the beta, that's how it is. Lastly, you see the type column. You can see 2 types, open and private. Open, anyone can join. Private, you would send a request and the owner of the guild would accept or deny your request. This would be for maybe friends. They want to get together, they know each other, they don't want anyone else to join their group, they make it private. You can also create your guild. That's what I did. You can see it here, La Belle École. The reason I created a guild is because I am a French speaker and I wanted to create a place for French speakers to connect and talk about the game. Let's click on my guild and see the guild page. Here I can edit, pick a picture, a guild name, and whether the guild is open or private. This is exactly what you would see when you would create a guild. You can create a guild on the All Guilds tab. But here I'm fine with those details, so I will keep as is. You see some statistics, how many races, the placements, and you see who is there. I am the owner, so I am able to give some roles to people. I can make them admins. Admin is not an owner, it's more like a moderator. Or you can ban a user. You can also talk to them directly if you wish so. Well, looks like we had some conversation already. Very good. And you can access the guild chat in there. This is where you would talk with everyone at once. You can also leave the guild if you wish to do so. Obviously I will not try, I want to stay in my guild. This is what has been released so far. The next release in a few months' time will be the racing and the breeding. I will make another video at that time to show how all that works. Thank you very much for your time. I wish you a wonderful rest of the day or evening, and I'll see you soon.